Salute to the boxing world, YouTube world, boxing communities, nocturnal thoughts, man. I appreciate y'all time. I hope everybody is being blessed, being safe. Thank you for your time. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. All my subscribers, man, salute, shouts out to you. I appreciate you. Nocturnal thoughts. Real quick video, man. I just want to talk about a few things in boxing that's going on that I'm paying attention to. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the heavyweight division, I was pulled back in recently by this latest unfolding of Dillian the Body Snatcher White getting KO'd by Sasha Povetkin. It really wasn't on my radar, but it's just like the Godfather. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. So now I'm very interested to see what Anthony Joshua's approach is going to be against Pulev. Is he going to box him? Is he going to get on the inside and try to knock him out? Or is he going to try to, stretch out? Is he going to do Andy Ruiz 1? Or is he going to do Andy Ruiz 2? Because I really wasn't paying attention that much to Anthony Joshua. I know he had a little bit of an injury to a leg. I seen a picture with him with like a brace on or whatever. I'm expecting come fight time, he's going to be fully rehabilitated from that situation and ready to go. With Anthony Joshua versus Pulev, I really, like I said, wasn't on my radar. I just kind of leaned towards Anthony Joshua. But the same thing with Dillian White, really wasn't on my radar. I just was leaning towards Dillian White to be able to outperform the older, more war-weary Povetkin. So I was surprised to see that knockout the way it happened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the only one, I know. But anyways, my main focus in boxing right now is more of the smaller guys, the welterweight division, with Shawn Porter fighting Sebastian Formella, with Errol the True Spence in his upcoming fight with Danny Garcia, with the situation that's unfolding with Terrence Bud Crawford. Who is he going to fight? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to fight Keith Thurman? Is he going to fight Gary Russell Jr.? Is he going to fight Kell Brook? Like, who is Terrence Bud Crawford going to fight? That's more interesting to my mind. I keep getting drawn back to that. This whole Gary Russell situation. I'm drawn into his whole situation with Gary Russell Jr. When he got into it with little JALILL HACHET. The interviews with Bernard HACHET. Just great content right now on boxing. Not to mention Gervonta Tank Davis training footage that's being released. Gervonta Tank Davis is looking like he's going to be on a whole nother level, period, point blank. He looks like he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. That's going to be very, very devastational, for real. I haven't seen much training footage from Leo Santa Cruz. I've seen a little bit. He's like in a good mood. He's the same Leo Santa Cruz, smiling and having a good time, warming up, about to do some rounds. But I'm looking at Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't see none of that. I mean, I see somebody that's on a mission, seek and destroy. Period, point blank. He looks phenomenal. He looks like he's going to be in much better shape than he was in for the Gamboa fight. So, anyways, Sebastian Formella versus Shawn Porter. Like I said, I was watching, and first of all, salute to Shawn Porter, salute to Sebastian Formella, just for entertaining us with some boxing over the last weekend. I gotta say that. But I also gotta say this. I was watching an interview with Bernard HACHET in response to Gary Russell Jr.'s apology to little JALILL HACHET for, being a casualty of war, bringing up sparring wars, saying how he got knocked down by his little brother. I think it was Antonio Russell, right? And Bernard HACHET and his son JALILL HACHET, and I got to give a salute to them for their decorum, for their integrity, and there's just the whole aura that they give off. I salute it. It's very impressive, surrounded by wisdom, and every time I hear him speak, him and his son, not so much his son is a younger guy, 17, but every time I hear his father speak, I feel like he says something that's worth taking a note to, drops gems, period, point blank. And he said one thing that I've heard 1,000 times, but the way he said it just made me instantly think of Shawn Porter versus Sebastian Formella. He said, you know, he was talking about JALILL and the training sparring that he was having with Jaron Boots Ennis from Philadelphia. Say when they go at it, man, they go at it like, you know what I'm saying, complete warriors, gladiators. It ain't no friendship, it ain't no holding back. And he said that's what he wants from his sparring with his son is, you know what I'm saying, iron sharpens iron when iron clashes. You know what I mean? Now, who haven't heard that in boxing? Who haven't heard that in life? Iron sharpens iron. We all hear that every day. You said iron sharpens iron when it clashes. But when you clash iron with cotton, all you doing is shining it up, buffering it up. Which, the way he put it was eloquent. And it caught my ear. Heard it before, but it made me think of Shawn Porter versus Sebastian Formella. That was like iron applying some cotton to it. You just shined them up. That's all you did. You know what I'm saying? Now, we've seen Shawn Porter, you know what I'm saying, in wars. Some people say that it was overdue for Shawn Porter to have a soft touch. And I respect those people's opinions. And then some people say at this point in time, especially when you say we shouldn't be tuning up. Everybody's been on the show for long enough. Nobody should be doing a tune-up fight. And then you have a tune-up fight. Some people are, you know what I'm saying, ridiculing that and holding that over his head, saying, look, man, we're not going to give you no credit for fighting mismatched competition of the likes of Sebastian Formella. I've heard that opinion too. And I have to say, man, I hear both sides of it and I agree with both sides. But here's my point. We've seen Shawn Porter in preparation for Errol Spence training against Demetrius Andrade, because Demetrius Andrade is a, you know what I'm saying, southpaw, tall, you know, awkward fighting style. We've seen Shawn Porter sparring for Errol Spence with Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? I believe David Benavidez, another tall, big dude. Shawn Porter is not known for fighting lesser competition. He's fought the best of the best of the best. Kell Brooks, Andre Berto, Adrian Broner, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence. He's fought them all. You know what I'm saying? Close fights, rough tactics, and he's at a point now where it's a pandemic. He just came off of a tough fight with Errol Spence, and to keep himself relevant, to keep himself busy, he fought this Sebastian Formella. I'm disappointed that he didn't get the knockout. I'm disappointed that he didn't knock this guy down. At the same time, I was disappointed with Errol Spence for not knocking down or knocking out Mikey Garcia. But the difference is the caliber of the opponent. Mikey Garcia was you know, pound for pound. I think he was like in the top 5 pound for pound. Sebastian Formella, no disrespect, tough kid, tough cookie, but not mentioned in the top 10 whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So I take it all and it'll all come out. If it don't come out in the wash, it's gonna come out in the rinse. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Shawn Porter did what he had to do to keep his name relevant and to put himself in a position to challenge the winner between Danny Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. I just watched an interview the other day with Danny Garcia, and Danny Garcia says when he lost those 2 tough fights between Keith Thurman And Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying, he hated the agony of defeat. He hated it. He said the only thing he felt like he did wrong was his preparation inside the ring and his actions inside the ring. He just didn't do enough. He wasn't hungry enough. He was getting complacent, getting content, and he just didn't do enough. You know what I'm saying? If he just would have did a little bit more in training, if he just would have did a little bit more in the ring, in the fight, he would have won. Close fights. I've heard that before. And as a matter of fact, I've heard that from Errol Spence. When Errol Spence says he got complacent, he got content, he stopped training as hard. He had the two most disappointing fights in his career. The difference is, his two most disappointing fights was with Mikey Garcia, a top pound-for-pound guy that he completely whitewashed. Undertrained, underperformed, slacked off, didn't take it as serious, wait to the last minute to cut weight, came in there sharp, came in there dull, didn't come in there sharp as he wanted to be, whitewashed Mikey Garcia. Same thing, in between fights, got lazy, got out of shape, got out of fighting shape. You know what I'm saying? Mentality took him into other places. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't as focused, wasn't as laser focused. Did what he had to do because he's a professional, cut weight, came in shape for the fight to fight Sean Porter, who's a truth machine. He'll take his pound of flesh. At the end of the day, Sean Porter's going to take his pound of flesh. Fought Sean Porter and convincingly won that fight, knocking Sean Porter down for the first time with a real knockdown, not a flash knockdown like with Adrian Broner, but a real knockdown, knocking down Sean Porter in the later rounds, in the 11th round, and then shutting out the show in the 12th round, putting on a beautiful performance to finish the show and show why he's, you know what I'm saying, the king of the welterweight division. So his two most disappointing fights was a whitewash against Mikey Garcia and a tough fight with Sean Porter that some people said could have been a draw minus the knockdown. That's what I take from that. Danny Garcia's two disappointing fights, he didn't do enough, he didn't train hard enough, he didn't come focused enough. 2 L's. Errol Spence, 2 underperformances, 2 impressive victories. Danny Garcia said for this fight, he's going to come in focused and he's going to come rejuvenated. He loves the sport. Everything is working well. He's going to be a well-oiled machine. I think for Errol Spence, because you can't count out Danny Garcia for this fight. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? You got to take everything under consideration. You got to take the time laid off, the rust, the accident, you know what I'm saying, the tough fight, everything. But if you look at everything that's coming out from Errol Spence, if you look at his mentality and what's transpired since the accident, I'm gonna tell you, like, from what I see, I think we're going to see Errol Spence that's going to be on a whole nother level than what we've seen in the Kell Brook fight, in the Chris Van Heerding, in the Chris Algieri, and so on and so forth. I think Errol Spence is going to come in shape, focused, and he's going to come in bulldozing fashion. And I think it's going to be a great fight, but I expect to see Danny Garcia, for the first time in his career, touch that canvas. He might get back up because he's a soldier. He got heart. But he's going to touch that canvas. He's going to bend that knee. This is Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all stay with me this long, hit the subscribe button. Get me up to 1,000 subscribers, man. I appreciate y'all time. This is Nocturnal. I salute. Everybody be safe. Everybody be blessed. Everybody be humble. And thank God. You know what I'm saying? Because tomorrow's not promised. Time, the most valuable commodity that we have, man. I'm out. Salute. Peace.